Oh boy, oh boy. Yep, another tech video talking about hackers on the game. There's about the same likelihood of finding a fork in the kitchen as there is finding a hacker on animaljam in 2025. However, this one is more of a reoccurring case, I want to say. Like, I've been told this by numerous people over the last course of probably 3-4 years. However, it seems to be more of an issue affecting the game. Well, it always is an issue affecting the game, but as of late, it's affecting the game even more, pretty much. And this is pretty much a tool that cracks animaljam accounts. It literally gives you animaljam account passwords, and people are using it to hack people. However, the danger of this is what I'm going to explain in this video. However, you want to earn rares in a very legitimate way, you can enter my light pink edgers giveaway right now. All you got to do is simply subscribe to the channel with notifications on, leave a like on the video, and then drop a comment down below, and more entries can be found in the description. Yeah, there you go. Do that instead. That's a lot easier. Yeah, let's talk about this. So I do have to give a big thanks to the two people on screen right now, Elisa and Alien. They both have been telling me about this stuff. I've been knowing stuff like this has been happening in the community for a few years now, and I've referenced it in a few videos in the past, but I think it's becoming more of an issue recently, and let's talk about it. So as I said, there's been these kind of tools. It's kind of, I guess it's been released numerous times, whether because it gets patched or, you know, it's just regurgitated code or like a gray-skinned program. I don't know what the case is. I don't really care, to be honest. Not because I don't care about the issue at hand, but I just don't care about the nitty-gritty details about who's making it or what it looks like or what the name of the tool is. You know, it's all the same concept. You know, it hacks accounts pretty much is what it's doing. And that's been a thing since 2020, 2021, where people were abusing a program like this in conjunction with using the database breach. And I'm pretty sure it's still utilizing that, by the way. Yes, all these years later, people are still using the animaljam database breach to hack accounts in 2025. Literally 5 years later. You think every account would have been hacked and plunged. The amount of times I've seen people come back to their accounts and they see they've been hacked, you would assume, you know, people just kind of give up now. But no, people are still trying to utilize these kind of tools to hack people in the game. It's kind of sad. There is two main reasons why I'm talking about this in this video now. One, because there is probably a lot of you out there that might see this video or might see these tools be advertised elsewhere. And you know what? A lot of people end up trying them to see if they can get some easy rares without really thinking it all the way through, I want to say, which is obviously not good for anybody. Let's delve into the first reason why I'm talking about this is because this is being advertised in numerous places. I imagine it's making its rounds on Discord. It usually does, but it's usually being advertised on TikTok now. I got sent this by numerous people. Now I'm gonna blur as much as I can. I don't want any sensitive information being shown because from what I know, on this TikTok profile, they are legitimately showing accounts being cracked, and not only that, it contains username and passwords and also emails of other people that obviously didn't consent to their information just being shown in animaljam TikTok of them hacking accounts. So I'm gonna blur as much as I can, or I'm not gonna bother showing the video at all if there's too much. But look, you don't need to see the account cracking. Okay, that's not the point of me showing this, and I'm just showing it for reference on what the profile looked like. I'm not gonna show what the profile username is or anything like that either. Just know that this is happening on TikTok, where they're being advertised out to players that, oh, hey, we have an account cracker that you can get and you can download. You can try yourself. Now, the main issue with this is, and I've seen it happen numerous times on Discord, especially, people will advertise these tools and they'll work. They'll actually do what they said. Obviously, you're not gonna find anything good on these accounts anymore because, as I said, most accounts have been flooded or, you know, kind of emptied out a few years ago when people were getting these tools firsthand the first time around. Unfortunately, people abused it, and unfortunately, thousands, hundreds of thousands of players got hacked because of the database breach with this tool in mind, or this type of tool anyway, not this one specifically in this video. But these tools still work, but most of the time, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume in this case as well, given how desperate they're trying to push this out to other people, it probably has a virus in it. So the people using it, they're gonna think it's a great gig. You know, they're getting a free tool that they can use to, you know, get quote unquote inactive accounts. No matter how old an account is, you shouldn't be logging into it without their permission anyway and hacking it. Okay, because the amount of comments I've gotten of people saying they return to the game just to see their accounts have been banned because hackers get into them and then they get them banned because most of them are IP banned from the game, or also they log into their account and see everything gone. It's really heart-wrenching because they come back to the game to kind of relive the nostalgia and relive the memories that they left behind, and they just see everything tampered with. It's kind of violating in some sense. With that aside, people will use these tools with the viruses in them, think nothing of it. They won't even account for the virus, probably won't even cross their mind. They'll just think it's a great gig, that they're getting items for free, yada yada yada, and then one day they'll notice they've been hacked. Everything has been taken from them. Whether it's a keylogger or just a straight up Trojan virus, I don't know. I'm just going to assume, given how much they are trying to promote this, that it is probably going to have a virus in it, and I don't think that's too much of a hunch to say, especially when I've seen this exact thing happen numerous times before. And it's not even an exclusive thing to TikTok either. I've seen it happen on YouTube videos as well. I'll throw some examples up on screen if I can find them. Don't imagine they're gonna exactly pop up if I just search it up on the YouTube algorithm, but it is something that happens often on YouTube as well, in a sense. And look, I know this video, me making this video, is probably gonna upset those people utilizing these tools, or it's gonna upset the people maybe making these kind of tools as well. I don't really care. But as someone that's been on both sides of the coin, you know, both involved in exploiting on the game, not account hacking by the way, just more so tampering with how the game works when I was like 14, which was 7 years ago. That's kind of depressing to think about. Been playing this game way too long. Existential crisis aside, but as somebody has played the game legitimately for most of my game life anyway, duration, and also have been in that kind of boat as well of trying to exploit the game, both sides of the coin, you will find it exceedingly more fulfilling to just work and trade for items legitimately over trying to hack other people for items. And I can promise you that. And not only that, the amount of effort you are probably putting in to try find all these accounts or go through these accounts to try find something good, you could probably redirect that effort into actually playing the game legitimately and trading legitimately and probably make more progress. Okay, I don't know what a lot of these people's goals are. To be honest, most of the time it is just money, but for the real legitimate players that just kind of want to work towards certain items they want to get or something like that, I promise you will find it 100% more worth your time just playing the game legitimately, and you'll find it 100% more fulfilling as well when you finally accomplish that goal. So, you know, I don't know if any of those words are gonna, you know, reach someone's heart and make them change their mind, but, you know, I figured I'd throw this in here anyway. But second of all, is the issue with these tools has to do with the second to last video I made. I'll throw it on screen. It was the one about animaljam going offline and stuff, and I remember, you know, drafting that video, and I was gonna include this in the video, and then when it came to recording the video, it just slipped my mind entirely. But these tools actually utilize, these tools work in a way that actually triggers, we'll just say a flag. I'm trying to dumb this down as much as I can. It triggers a flag that blocks login as well. I kind of explained that in the last video as well. You know, how too many people at one time, if they try to log in, it blocks logins for most players, if not all players in the game. So because it's like a security measure animaljam takes, right? And if you're utilizing these tools, it's pretty much logging a bunch of accounts in the game every other second to try to see if they're gonna work, and they're gonna log in, and they're gonna, you know, have a quote unquote hit is what people call them. But to make a long story short, it just logs a bunch of these accounts in over and over to see which ones work still, you know, don't have changed passwords or whatever, and that pretty much messes with animaljam's login. So you know, you think, you know, the bots and everything else I discussed in the last video about this login issue was the case, you also have genuine hackers that are utilizing these kind of tools that are also messing with it. Unfortunately, this kind of sucks. I don't think animaljam is to blame for a lot of this, while I do think some people at WoWworks maybe could just like do their own kind of of investigative work and, you know, easily bust these kind of little hacker rings, I like to call them, and pretty much stop this stuff. I really do think they could, but I mean, I'll pass this video along to animaljam DMs after the video goes up or something like that. Well, actually, I probably don't even need to do that. They usually watch my videos anyway. But this is another case of like, they're not going to foresee people making these kind of tools and stuff to hijack accounts and attack the game in this way. So I'm not going to push their blame on them for this reason. Well, I'm sure there's something they could change, maybe like with their API, from what I've been told, that could make these, you know, tools useless and void, you know, essentially patch them in a sense. I don't know. I'm not exactly too tech savvy with that stuff to a perfect T, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly, but yeah, I mean, that's like what's been going on with this whole issue pretty much. And I mean, as I said, if like, you know, somebody using these or whatever like that, you know, just tell them to cut it out, bro. Like, they're not gonna get anything from this. They're gonna hack accounts that don't belong to them. They're probably gonna get banned in the long run anyway, because animaljam always ends up banning these kind of people using these tools, by the way. And they perhaps could be contributing to people not even able to play the game, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, I think that's gonna have to do it for this one. Before we do end it out, do want to say there's a new video out for members only by the time this video goes out, probably. And also a big thank you to the members as usual for supporting the channel. It does go a long way and I do greatly appreciate it. If you are interested in joining as a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button and read all that stuff. Get a bunch of new perks, obviously bonuses, videos as always, if that's something that interests you. But a big thank you to the members as always. I'll probably have a bunch of videos out on the way in the next coming of weeks or so, if I actually stick to my word. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you animaljam hackers and those Discord servers aren't, you know, too mad at me, you know, leave me alone type of thing. Yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.